Okay, I had to pause and do another video now because I'm trying to clear here and to move forward to understand the spiritual world, how it works and where it gets at the moment. Okay, so you don't get so that you don't get confused when it will present to you in the future. At least you had me explaining it to you. And as they say, there was a channel that used to have a thing in television called You Didn't Knew, but now you know. Now you know. Okay. I said this in previous videos of mine that there's always a fight in between good and evil. And believe it or not, around the world at the moment there are a lot of evil people, some used by evil entities, some thinking that they are using evil entities to gain whatever they want in this life without understanding that at the end of this life they will go down in the pit of the hell. And they are using them to cast all sorts of things and spells and control and how do they call it? Curses and hexes and magic and you name it, whatever they can in order to gain power, dominion, and dominate one on each other, nations upon nations, groups upon groups. As you can see now, it's coming forward a lot of truth. It's coming out about a lot of groups that they are using or they used to use a lot of demonic uh, not even processions, demonic help to gain whatever they wanted, and they did rituals and they call them satanic rituals to gain whatever they desired instead of using God and using the archangels and using the original way that was created for us all to become and to gain and to develop and to be and to have. And as you know, or you might don't know, even after Adam and Eve was created and Cain and Abel came into existence, so the fourth person, first it was the third, Lucifer, fell down with the third of the creation, so he was 1/3 of the creation. And then was built Adam and Eve, and Cain and Abel, and the fourth one killed the third one. So it's always, I don't know, this universe, it's strange. Every time happens that someone wants to be stronger than the other one, he killed it from envy. He killed his brother from envy. Yeah. The second fall was from envy, was not anymore from greed. And guess what was the envy? One of them gave to God whatever he had best in his house, and he kept the second best things for himself, and God was very pleased with that. Obviously, God didn't need his best. How do you call it? His best. Give me one sec. Harvest. His best harvest. Imagine God having everything, but the gesture of offering God whatever he had best, and keeping for himself whatever he had left after, was a gesture of recognition. Like, yes, you gave me life, you gave me everything, I'm offering you back the best because I understand that you are my creator, you gave me everything. And obviously God felt love, grace, and good about him. And the other, Cain and Abel, okay? So Abel give this and Cain give some of his harvest. But he didn't give the best of. He gave 10% or whatever it was, he didn't give the best of. And God looked at him like he didn't understand that I created him and I give him all the rain and all the water, and I give him everything so that he can be and he can harvest whatever he wants to harvest. And if he gives me something back, he should at least give me that part that Abel gave as well. So he took not the side of Abel, but he acknowledged more Abel in front of them as, this is how you should, this is what I would like as God for you to do. If I'm giving you everything, to give me back that part that you consider that it's the most valued. Okay, if God is everything and he gives you everything and he makes everything, you give back as a recognition the best part. You don't give him the rest part. The best, not the rest, what's left over. Okay, so that's the idea of God saying, okay, the Father saying, okay, let's see what we are doing. And by doing so, envy was created, and he went and killed his brother for envy. Now, all of us have been through a moment like that, because this was passed through generations in all the lineages, even the lineage of Cain, and even the lineage of Abel. All the lineages got this, like Luciferian fall down from pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, went down behind in all the lineage of all the fallen angels. So all of them had that side, like Cain and Abel killing the other through envy. All that lineage had it behind to work on it, to overcome it, to re-become proper and not envy and jealous. But what was expected, I think, from God was understanding and saying, oh, he's right, my brother, I should have given you, God, also my best harvest part. I'm sorry. How can I make up? Look, can I give you now my best part and say I'm sorry? I think God, as a father, would have understood that and would have said, my son, understand the idea, the concept, instead of becoming envious and killing his brother. And I think God would have said, well done, Cain. Well done, you got the lesson. You got the lesson, you didn't destroy the story. What he did, he destroyed the story. So after Adam and Eve falling down from Eden, their sons killed him themselves through envy. So you can understand how these things in the history of humankind are related to each one of us. It doesn't matter if you are whatever you are, as long as you are a human being in a human form, even if as a spirit you are something else, came into a human form to be, you have to go through these ones. You have to, it's a must. Why? Because the human being went through and left behind in its history these parts, and those are the ones that you have to work on and to overcome, and you do not overcome them by yourself. You have to have help from God, from the other side of the story, archangels, and the light side of the story. And if you keep following the wrong, you will end up bad. You will not be happy, you will keep being envious. And if you look at the people that have this, let's call them characteristics, you can see their faces start changing. They are not happy, they do not express light, they cannot channel light. As long as they have pride, you see their faces twisting in a certain way. If they have greed, you see their bodies changing. If you learn how they look from books and then you go on the road, you can distinguish them. Each one of them, which one of these ones are more predominant. Like with the emotional damage that I've told you in the previous books, there is a physical aspect that predominates for each emotional wound that one has. So if it's betrayal, you have a certain physical aspect. If it's betrayal you are suffering from the most in your emotional wound. If it's one of the other, for each one individual there is one aspect of your body that it's more obvious. In most of the cases, it's the most obvious aspect of yourself. And even if you try to hide and say, no, I'm cured and this and that, your body doesn't lie. Even if you try to hide your gestures and your movement, your body cannot lie. You see the psychiatrist, and that's the human body language, which is studied on the higher levels of CIA, FBI, and other groups of security, so that they can read the body language, because we speak with our bodies more than we speak with our mouth. So whatever we say, whatever we express, in reality, your body says the truth. You might try to hide it through your words, but your eyes never lie. You heard the saying, eyes never lie. And they build the machines also so they can read the dilution of your pupil is called, so of your eye, and you cannot lie to them. If they want to know the truth, at least they know you are lying. Okay? So they build up even the machines that they put on your hands, and some people can overpass them. The eyes don't lie. So they build up machines where they look into your eyes, they ask the question, and you answer, and if it's a lie, your eyes react. And you cannot control that part of the eye that opens up when it's a lie or it's the truth. If it's the truth that you know is the truth and you say it as the truth, that part stays the same. If it's a lie, that part starts moving. I don't remember if it becomes smaller or bigger, but if you look online, you will find out. That's why a lot of people, when they ask you questions, they look into your eyes to ask questions, to see your reactions. If you look in a certain direction, it's 99.99% the case that you are saying a lie, and you are thinking about how to twist the truth that you know in a certain way to become a lie, and you can tell the lie as real as it gets, so that you can lie. And it's in our body, the reaction, and our look, where we look and where we think, when we want to say something about the truth, and it's the truth, we pick it up from a different angle compared with the moment when we want to think about a lie to portray it as a truth to the other one. And our reaction, our body reacts differently. And what we express, as much as we try to lie, there are detectors. And those that study that, they can read you and they know in 5 seconds if you're there to say the truth, if you're there as a real honest person or not. If you sit down and you calm and you start talking like this, or you are like this and you start doing like this, and you are over stressed, they can even understand if the stress is from an emotional wound or you are trying to lie to them. Okay, so yeah, it's not anymore it's not anymore strange reality or strange knowledge that it's not available. It is available. You can study it, you can learn, but it needs always practice, time, and dedication to the subject that you want to learn. Now, moving out from this side and getting back to the spiritual world, to start with, this is Archangel Michael. Okay? He has in his hand a sword, as you can see. And that sword looks like spiritual sword. No, it doesn't look like a real one. The handle, yes, but the blade looks like a spiritual fire-like sword that is able to cut through the spirit. As I've told you in the previous videos, if you look upon, you will see that you have a field, you have a spirit inside your body. And your soul, it's like a shield. And if you give your soul away to something, you lose there, and might be that an entity gets inside your field and plays with you. Sometimes it's the case of the desire of food, of sex, of drugs, of cigarettes, of might be of pride, of greed. The moment you become greedy, know that you have in your field an entity that corrupted you to become greedy. And you have it there. You don't see it unless you start learning how to see it, and you open your perceiving sensorial, spiritual senses, but just know you have it there already in your field. It's around you. And it's waiting for the moment to place in front of you another greedy situation where you will fall down again for that greedy sin, and you'll lose soul towards that greedy sin, and maybe you will get your money now, your reward, let's call it like that, and you will be like, I have my reward, but you lost your soul towards that entity. And guess what? If you finish your lifespan, and at the end of your lifespan you have more lost soul towards those entities, you will be in a bad situation. And you don't want to get there. Trust me. If you don't want to trust anyone, trust me. Give me a chance to trust me and learn from me. This is what I'm asking. I'm not asking anyone to believe me. Give me a bit of your trust. Try what I'm telling you to try, and see if nothing fights back. Okay? If there's no entity inside your field pushing you to be greedy, to be have pride, to be envious, gluttony, wrath, sloth, and so on, do what I'm telling you to do and see if there's no, let's say, fight back from an energy that you do not perceive with your eyes, but you will perceive it because something happens to stop you not to be anymore pride, greedy, have lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, or sloth. Because you don't know how to fight, you don't have your swords anymore. You can gain your swords if you learn Reiki on different levels. You can get back your swords, and whenever one of them comes over into play, you can eliminate them with the sword. I don't know how many of you want to learn and start learning and wake up spiritually to start learning things, and not to just stay in the story of the Sleeping Beauty, where she was keep sleeping good dreams without knowing that she was under a spell, magic, blocked somewhere. So if you want to wake up from the Sleeping Beauty, I'm here to always wake you up a bit, to give you some energy, to give you some ideas that might twist your mechanisms inside yourselves, mentally, spiritually, to give you ideas and to give you direction. I cannot do it in your place. I can help you, guide you, sustain you energetically, but I cannot do it in your place. I can only come here and tell you this is how it works, start doing it, get in contact with me. I'm doing these videos so that you can get in contact with me, and I will answer you all as much as I can. Try to do this, and if you do this and nothing happens, and no change, and no force is fighting back, then you can call me a liar on the group. I take that. You can call me a, how do they call him, the Lucifer, the one that convinces people that he doesn't exist. Illusioner, no, I don't get the word now in my brain. it doesn't come. Anyway, you got the idea. The one that tricks people that he doesn't exist. And there is time to change, and you can turn towards God before your life ends, and so on. Meanwhile, you can do all of this. You can you can chase all the earthly goods instead of understanding that the spiritual growth is more important, and that whatever you can gain here at one point will end into your life, and then you need to go somewhere. You don't just how do they say, on some channels they say you finish your existence. You came from nothing, you go into nothing. I wish that was true sometimes. Honestly, I wish that was true, but it's not the case. Not in our universe. In our universe, things are different. And there's always time to wake up. Believe it or not, it's enough one day to change completely your position in front of God. It doesn't require 10,000 years to do that. It's enough to wake up in the morning, go to a proper church, a proper priest, have a confession, release yourself from all the sins. In that day, stay away from all that is wrong. Apologize to everyone that you can apologize. And ask for forgiveness with whatever you did wrong towards everyone in this universe and towards God. And you already moved from the worst bottom point of your existence. At least you are here. Okay, you are up from going to hell 100%. A confession and staying away from pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth in one day of your life for 24 hours, managing to do that. Confession, you cleanse your charcoal luggage, everything that pulls you down, and staying away for one day and asking for forgiveness and forgiving everyone, you are already here at the, let's call it, level point, center point. One day, God, if this day is the day you want to change, in one day you can do that. Even if you go in the bushes and you stay in the bushes there and you get away from everyone. But what happens? Evil will find a way to come towards you, to try to twist you, to try to hate someone, to try to do something to someone, to try to get you back down. That's why I'm telling you, if you start learning, you will see opposition. And you don't have to see it, you will feel it, you will perceive it, it will come to you through people around you, it will come to you through things that will happen around you, and you don't know for what reason you get something, you are losing something, something happens to you, just like that, from nowhere. Before doing what I'm telling you to do, it was good, and you were thinking that you are in a good state. The moment you turn around towards God and you want to follow the path, the evil side starts losing grip on you. And if you do the confession, it loses all the grip. And if you do the forgiveness, it cannot hold on you anymore. And what do? They try to come back to you, to convince you again to hate, to be greedy, to have pride, to have envy, whatever you had at most. They start working there because they used to eat from there, from you, from your energy, and they will try to come back. Always there. Maybe in different ways, more sneaky ways as they call them, or snaky, if you want to play with words. snaky or sneaky, and they will try everything. But in order for you to protect yourself, comes into play the spiritual war. Now that's like a video game. If you ever saw a video game with adventure of the conqueror of that realm where the video game is played, you see that there are characters having weapons like Archangel Michael, having wings, having the possibility to fly, having the possibility to have a shield. See, his shield here is drawn with the triangle, which is the Trinity, and the eye of God. So God is my protection. He's wearing the protection from God, and he's wearing the sword from God. To do what? What do you think Michael is doing with that? He's protecting and he's fighting. He's protecting and he's fighting back. Now, not always the sword, it's metaphorical. Sometimes you can see it as a metaphorical sword, but most of the time it's as real as it gets. In the spiritual war, you have to imagine the spiritual war like the games that you pick up your character. You saw one is a healer, one is one with a sword, one is the beautiful lady in the game, and each one of them walk the path, gain different weapons, different shields, different ways of flying or moving around, and then they go, and whatever they encounter, usually it's monsters they encounter or bosses at the final stage of that level, and they fight them and they knock them out, and some of them they have to do something on them, and some of them they have to do something else on them. And this is similar. Okay, so with the demons have pride in them. They consider themselves superior to others. So whenever you fight a demon, you point at him at his pride, and you work him on his pride. So you need to learn these tricks and things like in a game, so that you can play the game as good as possible, so that you cannot get tricked by them. And they are very intelligent. You think they are not intelligent, but they are very sneaky and intelligent. And that's why I'm telling you ways to cut them off and to see their reaction. And even if you don't see them with your spiritual eye, to see how ugly they are and how twisted and how, let me say, how distorted they are, and they are punished, so they can feed only through this so they feed from people that they have pride. So first they go to convince someone to be have pride in himself, and they feed from there. They can only feed like that. But once you know how to stop them and educate them and transform them back from demons into angels, and you learn the game to play it properly, and you learn about dragons, and you learn about angels, and you learn about demons, and you learn about the female demons, because there's not only male demons, there's also female demons. And you learn about snakes, and you learn about dogs, and you learn about unicorns, and you learn about whatever it is in the spiritual realm, deities and saints and other gods, so-called gods. And you learn everything, and you learn how to play the game, the spiritual war game. Then you are in a good position. And it's not easy. It is not easy to learn everything, because there's a lot imagine that just word by word, put one aside to other. For example, our bodies have the blood circulation, the lymphatic circulation, and the nervous system circulation. Then there's different energy channels, like the spinal channel, like the Ingai Pingala channel. Then there's the Kabbalah drawing of the channel, and so on. There's different systems in all over the world, and each system, let's say, has his own bad witches that do bad curses, magic, and so on, and they create all sorts of systems to gather as much power and soul and dominion over others. And they use it in a bad way. They don't use it in the good way. And they are keep doing this on us, all of us, no matter if you are whoever you want to be. You can be the president, you can be the, of course the president maybe is more targeted in a country that another country wants to occupy economically, whatever that country. A president, the surrounding of a president is more attacked on the spiritual war. And then you might see someone coming into in television and start speaking, and you see them that they are not okay with their behavior. Some of them, they look possessed. They honestly look possessed by entities. And you see them twisting and doing things like, what is wrong with this guy? And it's not in the normal behavior of a human being. And once you start learning and you start growing and you start perceiving, you are like, that's not under his control anymore. That person, that person, that person. You can see them. And once me, because I was through all of them, and I tried all of them, and I've been in that state, and I felt how it feels, and I was under attacks from the demonic entities, and I had to fight back. At that time, I didn't have the tools that I have now, and the knowledge, and the power to fight back. And that's fight back. See what he has, the shield of God and the sword from God. He doesn't have his own shield and his own sword. It's the shield of God and the sword of God. That's how you fight back. You cannot fight back without that, without having God by your side. You cannot fight back just by saying, I don't believe in this, then means it doesn't exist. Because now, if you look around, it starts to come out all sorts of demonic not only behavior but structures, and they come out and they don't care. No one is doing arrests on them, no one is putting them in jail, no one is, they killed children, they did this, they did that, no one is doing nothing about them. And what's moving forward this toward is, they keep grasping and controlling. And if you don't wake up and you don't know and learn how to block this, how to stay away from this, how to get back on the proper track, at one point they will reveal themselves in front of everyone. And what do you do then? You become a victim and you cry because all your life you've been in one of these sins part. You start waking up and learning as quick as possible about the spiritual war, about your self growth, about how to get yourself your sword and your protection from God, and how to fight back, and how to group with the others that want the good of this planet, and they don't want to become greedy, and they want to occupy, and they want to chase the wrong side of the situation. Or you want to say, I don't believe in this is nonsense, and this is not real, and this is not happening, and you do like that bird that puts his head in the sand and says, I cannot see the wolf doesn't see me. So the wolf doesn't exist. If my head is here, no one exists. Okay? We play that game? Or you want to play the game that you go and do a confession, you start reading Psalms, the book of Psalms. If you read the book of Psalms and you feel here that something is blocking your throat so you cannot read the Psalms, or you feel distraction, or you start coughing, or you start having the sleeping mood continuously, or also I heard cases when they felt pressure on themselves, something distracting them, or someone calling them in that moment, or something happening around them. If that's the case, you have something in your field that doesn't want you to read the Psalms, because the Psalms were transmitted through the Holy Spirit. And the Psalms have the capacity to clean your luggage. They don't clean your luggage like in a confession, but they start cleaning your luggage. And if you look in the previous video, I even teach you how to do a confession at home. How to call God into your room and have a confession and change from pride to humility, to acknowledge these things, how to make a list of your sins that you understand, and to say, God, I want to change. I understand. I went on the wrong side of the story. I want to get back on the good side of the story. Please help me. Be humble. Understand that He is God, not you. Yeah, you have your free will. Yeah, you have all the bad things going around you. But the moment you start and you ask for His help, God, help me, He will find a way. It's not always the easy way or the pleasant way, and it doesn't end up in 1 second, the change. But the moment you call Him, He will give you ways to change. And the fastest one, confession. If you can do fasting. Fasting means at least do not eat meat or sugars. Meat or sugars. Do not eat meat or sugars. Drink water, eat vegetable stuff for a couple of days. Okay, because the negative entities feed a lot from meat and sugar. Okay, and give you only the impression that you are okay with it. If you can do that for a couple of days, when you do this, they will stay away from your field. Your field will start glowing again. Your aura will start to rebuild itself without you even learning to do Reiki or to do protection or to whatever. And then if you want to start learning the game of spiritual war, where magic, where blasphemy, where curses, where hexes, where whatever you want, it's included. And you want to stay on the side of the good and learn how to get back your sword and your shield, and how to protect yourself in this war, and how to fight for the good, because believe it or not, good fights back evil. Sometimes through people like me, that they teach you and transmit you energies and are here to guide you, and somehow you don't even see them. Like you don't see the evil that it's pushing you to do evil things so that you lose your soul towards it. In the same time, maybe there is one guy cutting your road, stopping you for moving forward in that moment for 30 seconds. You even get pissed at him and you're like, wow, move out the way, what are you doing? And that guy was there in that moment, pushed by an angel so that he can block you, because in 2 minutes from now a car was supposed to hit you. And that happens for a reason. I know you don't see it, because you cannot see in the future in front of you 1 mile, 2 miles, but in the spirit, God and angels and whoever is there working and trying to pull the strings, some in their favor and some in their favor, okay? They can see that and they are working continuously. And if you want to give power to your guardian angel, you light him up a candle. You buy candle and this is for my guardian angel. It gives him power. It gives him energy. You can pray for your angel. You can ask God to give your angel power. You can put high vibrational music. Your angel loves it. You can do good things. Okay? You can do charity. You can share. But not sharing like everything, giving everything away. So always the balance. Now give something back to the community that you are living in. Help someone if you can help someone. If you don't want to help someone, use a charity that you know that they are really helping others. Even they are helping people with needs, with handicap, people with whatever problem you want, cancer research, helping the planet to plant trees. How many of you plant a tree in your life and give back to the earth at least one plant to create oxygen? How much oxygen did you breathe in this life? And how much did you give back? You understand how the balance works? If you go and plant now 10 trees, in 50 years they will produce enough oxygen to feed 2 people. Meaning you gave back more than you received. This is how you calculate the balance. This is how you clean karma. If you did something wrong, you have to add energy to balance it. If not, the wrong will always chase you to get from you whatever gets from you to rebalance. This is what karma means. But if you learn that you can give to this karma more than it has to take from you, then this karma will help you. Oh, this guy understood, he's giving me more. Let me help him, giving me more and more and more and more. This is how it works, karma. But people don't understand. People always think that karma is bad, karma is punishing me, karma is doing this to me. No. Karma is there to rebalance. If you understand that and you put more into your karma, karma will be there to help you. I hope I passed properly the concept and you understood it properly. Karma is not bad. Karma is necessary. Because at one point someone created this balance. And then karma is there to recreate the balance And if you learn that you can add something more on the karma, karma will help you. This is how it works, okay? And then you can cultivate kindness, purity, temperance, patience, diligence, and so on. Different aspects to keep you in balance, to do not keep you disbalanced, and to push you towards the bad side of the story. Another thing, if you read Psalm 50, let me double check, because I had somewhere the Psalms of protection. But you can read Psalm 22, Psalm 50, so 22, 50, 90, and I recommend also 142 and 143. So it's 5 psalms, it takes around 2 minutes every day, at least once. This one, protection. This one is for, these 3 are for protection, but why together? Psalm 22, it's acknowledgement. Psalm 50, it's asking for forgiveness from God and to cleanse your field. So once God comes and cleans your field, obviously you are protected, no? And Psalm 90 is to open the roads for you. So the protection, opening the roads, is like putting God around you in your path on a daily basis so that He can be there and protect you. So 22, 50 and 90, it's a very good start to get your protection. Psalm 142 and 143 also shows you your way. In each case, the way is different. Maybe you start and you have something else to do now on your spiritual growth compared to me. Me, I'm here teaching you. I did my evolution path, and I'm teaching you things that I know. Further on, if you start doing my Reiki course and coming to my Reiki course, you will get into the game, spiritual war game as well, where you will get your sword, you will get your shield, you will get your tools, and you will start your spiritual game or growth. And sometimes it's difficult, but with the help of God always, nothing can not be overpassed. And there is a saying, we are all in debt with one debt. No, we all have to die. It depends how we die, from what point in our evolution we die. We lived only to move forward and to live the life that was presented in front of us, and to believe only this, and to be sleeping beauty for all our lives, or we want to grow, to learn, to fight back, to become the co-creators of our lives and not the karmic result of our lives. So yeah, it's a process. And like Elijah, this is a depiction of Elijah when he was I don't know if you know the story, you should read it. At least you know how God picks certain people, why He picks certain people, and how those people keep following God no matter what, and they became, at the end of the story, the heroes of the story. What did they have to go through to become the heroes of the story and the heroes of their story? Because Elijah is not the hero of your story, he's the hero of his story. Even if he did it for us all, whatever he did, He is the hero of his story. Okay? And what did he went through? And how is he always trying to help us? Even if he's in spirit now, he's trying to help us. Archangel Michael, his story. What about his story? What relation he had with Elijah? What's the story behind? These things, you don't find them if you don't look for them, and no one is pointing them at you. No one is coming in television tomorrow to say, let's learn about the story of Elijah or the story of Archangel Michael. They only come to say there is war there, famine there, we don't have this, we don't have that, you have to fear here, you have to fear there, you have to be like this, you have to put your mask, you have to cover up, you have to be greedy, be this, be that. And as you can see, a lot of people follow to learn the showing up one of them, so that they can sell it, make money, and say after, I made it in life. I made it. I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. Okay, how did you become a billionaire? Well, I did this on that. They don't tell you this part. They will never tell you, I was greedy, I did this on that one, I made a deal where I made from £1 1 million and I sold my soul. No, they will not tell you that. Some of them will come out and say, I sold my soul. They are honest, but only a few do that. Only a few change, that after they become billionaires, millionaires, they change, okay, I sold my soul, let me gain it back, God, and move and change and do. But all throughout the history, there's always this battle in between. Because this earth is the battleground between evil and good, between making it through hard times and preparation and dedication, or making it through one of this side of the story, where a demon is behind working the sin and giving you what you want and taking from you whatever you could have become through the honest side of the story. And I've seen greed in my life, I've seen pride, I've seen all of them. I've been through all of them in this life and other lives as well. I managed to do my spiritual growth where I was able to have a glimpse into my past lives as well. So up to that point, I was taught and I believed that we have only this life, we come from nowhere, we go to nothing. Maybe there is God, yeah, there is God, but I don't like this, this is odd, this is strange, this is that. I had my younger experiences where I was attacked by all sorts of entities, and I was in a period where I was praying, I was fasting, I was training, I was clean energetically as much as possible, and I got attacks from them. And I didn't know how to defend myself. I didn't know the shield and the sword, and I was like, I was only producing a lot of light, and I got attacks because they don't like light. It's like you having to, like me, bringing the flame on your hand straight away. What do? You pull your hand away and you try to knock it out. You don't like the heat from the light. You can be whatever you want. When I come with the fire on you directly, you don't like it. You tend to stay away from it and to hit it, to turn it off. You want to turn it off. You don't want that light. is like a flashlight. If I point a flashlight into your eyes, this phone is special. this, this phone made me laugh. So if I do like this to you, ready? Are you ready? Look here. You don't like it. You tend to close your eyes, do like this, no? You defend yourself. You try to do like this, turn it off. Reaction, turn it off. It's bothering me. Same with evil. On the dark side, if you go there and you light up the spark and you put the light in the middle, they are like, we are used to stay in the dark. What's with this light? Turn it off. Same happens with the ones that start glowing, starts lighting up their spark in the dark. Or people start pointing at them, what's wrong with that guy? That guy is crazy, stay away from me. No. And they try to block him, and all the entities through them try to block them. Or something happens to them, the incident or whatever. That's why these things have to be taken accordingly, and karma has to be paid, and the work on emotional wounds has to be done, and learning Reiki and how to do the spiritual work has to be done, and how to call for Archangel Michael's help, when to call for God's help, how to do a daily routine on reading psalms, calling God to help, to protect, to guide, to open the path, to show you the path. So it's all a process of learning, of testing, of becoming. And maybe one becomes a good warrior, and one is a good healer. One is a good teacher of patience and temperance. One is a kindness person and delivers kindness. One humility, one love, one compassion, and so on. Each one can develop one or more abilities and can spread them and can unite all together and fight this war that on this planet is not going in a good direction, and the evil feels at ease at home. Evil in this universe feels like he owns this place and he can do whatever, and he can corrupt everyone, he can buy everyone, he can do everything with everyone, he can do all the wars, he can decide changes and everything. And if we don't learn and stand up and move upwards and get closer to God and use God as our help in this battle, using the Force, as Yoda used to say, may the Force be with you, and they was harvesting the Force, up until Darth Vader fell down into pride and envy. If you look the connection between Star Wars and the reality, you can learn from there a lot. And at the end, he manages to get out from there because he had good teachers. He went through the bad side as well of the story. He managed to see the bad side, to feel the bad side, to live in the bad side of the story. And at the end of the movie, he gets out from there, helping the good side and understanding that good is better. God is good, if it makes sense. Evil creates distortion, creates loss, creates sufferance. Evil doesn't create nothing beautiful, and nothing good, and nothing long lasting. And in the last 100 years, evil kept pushing forward the fact that he doesn't exist, the fact that science is everything, and science knows everything, and science, only science is truth. And now you can see all over evil is coming out. Satanic rituals, wars, people just wanting like this more and more and more and more and more. There's enough for everyone. There's so much enough for everyone that we can be even 100 billion on this planet working properly together, and there's still place for others. Instead of having wars and a fight between us to kill ourselves, to lose our souls in war, in pride, in greed, in lust and envy, and gluttony and wrath and sloth, to gain what? At the end, who gains from this? The evil entities that are behind, and they are eating from the souls of those who feed them. So if in a war they do human sacrifices to bring up demons of war, to win a war against another country, those demons have to feed on human soul through war, desperation, fear, and so on. That all the other demons come there to feed. And maybe a country wins, but what happens? No one won, because both sides lose souls. Both sides are only interested in territory or resources. As you can see, no country is going to war, or it's pushing forward the development of the spiritual essence of the human being. Like, we want to have a war on you to learn how to grow spiritually, to be in love, happiness, to be correct, to do not be greedy anymore, to do not have pride, to all of them. No country in the world stood up to say, we want to transmit you this, come and sit with us on this, and seeing all over the television that they want to transmit this. You might find through some teachers that are teaching you this, but countries, no. Why? Because they are all corrupted. On that level, behind it, there are entities that infiltrate and create corruption on every level. So the work you have to start it with you. You start your work, you build up the ones around you, and so on. It's creating like a net after you grow, learn, and go through the process. It doesn't come with the magic wand. And soon, as you can see, it's already happening, the process. They come out, the evil comes out and doesn't care even anymore, because no one can touch them. At the moment, in the spirit game, there are fights, huge fights that normal eye don't see, against them. In the spiritual game warfare, there's a battle there that you don't want to know about it, and no one is coming to talk about it. No one is coming to talk about it. Why? I don't know. That's a question that I will ask God as soon as I can, and whenever I get the first answer, maybe it's the free will. How do they call it? Rule, and that's why they do not tell you everything that is going on in the spiritual world. But evil is winning at the moment, and if you don't wake up and you don't listen and you don't do your homework, when the moment comes that evil will reveal itself, I don't know what you will do, how you will fight back, where it will be your shield, your God shield, and your sword, and your spiritual evolution. Because you will be left over with your money in your pocket and your phone to scroll, and you have to deal with it. You just have to deal with it from that position. And in that position, you will not know how to break a magic that was cast upon you in the spiritual game. You will not know how to block a hex, how to change a spell, how to block a demon, how to fight him, how to disarm him, how to win against a demon, how to make him get up from his throne. Yeah, demons like to sit on thrones. Like Game of Thrones, if you see the series, demons like to sit on their throne, and they are have a lot of pride, and they always say from there they fight you, and they up until they get up. When they get up, through pride, they get up. You can fight them. If you fight them while they are still sitting on their throne, you didn't win. Okay? But once they stand up, you can win against them. You can take their power off with your sword. And not only, there are different ways, different weapons, so you can fight them and win against them. But one of them is the sword, and it's on the lower levels is the most used because it's easy. You defeat them, like in Highlander, you cut their head, you take their power, you put them in their place, and you move forward. And yeah, it's a spiritual word, spiritual game. There's a lot of learning to be done on, but if you don't want to do the job, and you don't want to learn, and you don't want to grow, and you don't want to learn about the other reality of things, then do whatever and may God bless you in any way so that you can be saved in any way, and you don't have to go through all of this side unconsciously and without wanting to grow and to learn and to understand and to become again whoever you are as the original spirit, a spirit of kindness, of love, of humility, of generosity, of patience, of diligence, of whatever. If you want to keep staying on the negative side, good luck to you. The story says that God always wins, God is always in control, and God knows the story before it happens. So, if you still want to stay on the wrong side, be my guest. Be my guest, and best wishes from me. Like as I said earlier, God bless you all. If you want to start learning, start looking into my courses. I give you some directions. I also have the first course of Reiki. I will do the Reiki Karuna course whenever I will have time, and I will speak about and I will teach you how to connect with the archangels, with the divine powers that in the spiritual game, you have access to true Reiki Karuna. And then